hello there and welcome back to my Let's Play of Tomb Raider 3. Here we Club Gaming here, and having done India, Nevada and the South Pacific, we're going to London. And yeah, we've chosen London last, and this area... what? Yeah, sorry, I lost the plot there. What part is it? Part 25, and this level is the Thames Wharf. 5 secrets to find. It's a fairly lengthy level. It's not that hard though, so consequently it still took me 2 parts, because I basically spent far too long in one area, and when I got to the area that's okay, what's going on here? Back at the start menu. What? I thought this has been edited. Clearly it hasn't. Well, it has, but I've just edited it a spotting way. Never mind. So what I was going to do here is empty some of the guns out. And since that took a lot. 25 minutes of oh bugger, I wasn't supposed to commentate over it. Oh, for fuck's sake, man. It don't matter, I'll cut it out. Anyway, so I haven't actually cut the footage of me doing it out. Well, I will skip past it because you don't need to. You don't really need to see that, and well, you'll see. Oh, I don't know what the fuck I'm going with that now. Right. So I did empty a few guns out back onto their tools. You're supposed to have, because when you proceed to the safe crystals, obviously got too much ammunition. So I've emptied the guns back down to the normal bit, so I don't get too much of an advantage. The advantage is, of course, the extra safe crystals, and arguably London is the prettiest area I do. Well, obviously the graphics are the same, so to speak, but with London being at night, obviously you can do some wondrous things. And that area over there is St. Paul's Cathedral. Now that area over there is actually supposed to be, is actually the area you go to finish the level. And it's right there, and you would think that was there's some way to get to it. There is. There's a massive shortcut to take, and that means you can finish the level in a right few minutes. But you do that, you obviously miss all of the secrets. So I haven't said that you'd press the secret sheet in and just go that way anyway. If you're still bothered about the secrets, then you get about 888 secrets out of 5 or something stupid like that. Well, about 60. You know how this game is, or maybe you don't. I don't know. Right, so I do like this track. Some of the tracks we've used for Tomb Raider 2, I believe this one is, but it's slightly different. The way it sounded in Tomb Raider 2 is different, because the soundtracks used in the first 3 games were developed by Nathan McCree, and often they just they reuse a lot of the soundtracks from Tomb Raider 1 and Tomb Raider 2. And even in Tomb Raider 3, where there was more new ones, and from Tomb Raider 4, the last 3 classics, of course, there's a new composer, Peter Connelly, and for me, I enjoy both their music to varying degrees, but and often it can be hard to pick out who I prefer, but I think because Tomb Raider 4, the atmosphere is so brilliant, that kind of music is, I'd have to give the edge to Peter Connolly, but and even the music he does in Tomb Raider Chronicles is very good. In Angel of Darkness, admittedly he recycles some of the music used in Tomb Raider 4 in Tomb Raider 5 and Angel of Darkness, as you'd expect. That's no bad thing, because one of the tracks he recycles is one of my favourites of all time, you see. So I tried to show you the shortcut here. I was such a retard that I died. I couldn't actually have the skill to do it, so I gave up pretty quickly, as you can imagine. And instead of trying to do the shortcut, I'm going to go down here. Now, you don't actually need to go down here to complete the level, but well, of course there's a secret down here, so if you want all the secrets, you've got to go down here, haven't you? Now, this is the first secret of the level, and you might, well, because some people might pick London first, and if you pick London first, I don't suppose you'll have the rocket launcher. I already have the rocket launcher by this point, so I don't discover. I already know about there's a rocket launcher because obviously I played the game plus. But what am I going on about? I do not know. But overall, there's a mini pack there as well, a small mini pack, and there's the cathedral now. If you could fall down there, that would be a massive shortcut, and that's the area it ends up. So it's kind of cool that they keep showing areas that you're supposed to go like ages and ages before you're supposed to get there. It's a hint, nothing more. And you'd only see that if you went to the secret, which is a rocket. She's got the rocket launcher on her back. And also, with this level set, it introduces a new outfit. Of course, if you've been following along, you'll know that I did Chronicles 4, 1 and 2. And there is a catsuit in Chronicles, in the BCI section. And that catsuit is a bit more extreme than this one. Well, this one that she's got on is sort of this was the first introduction of the catsuit in any Tomb Raider game. It's pretty cool. It was the original, and I still think though I don't know which one's better, to be honest, because while the one in Tomb Raider Chronicles is pretty cool, I think the colouring of the one here, which is more of a very dark blue than a black, is probably better. There's not that much difference. They're both skin type outfits that are very revealing. But I think, yes, indeed, and she is very well camouflaged in Night with the Catsuit, so, and it will be cold and wet. So it is London, so it does make sense to pack like something that would keep her warm, I guess. And oh my god, if I just left her standing there. I shouldn't have done. This video should have been. It has been edited. Oh no! Oh no! No, that's it. I mean, if I leave her stand there for a few seconds, who's gonna care? But if it's for like the 2 to 3 minutes, obviously that's not good for the LP. Oh, and yes, personally, oh my god, I want to do that. Extremely idiotic. Oh my god, I left the load screen. I shouldn't have done. Oh. Bugger it. If I've done it, I've done it. I've edited this video for hours on end. And I might as well have got a chimpanzee to do it for all the good it's done. But never mind. I am an evolution of a chimp. Oh dear. I don't know why I'm trying to put it back down there. I've already been down there. What am I doing? Huh? Oh, I didn't save games. Oh god, I'm so stupid. And then I should have edited this out. Oh well, I haven't edited out getting the secret twice. I do apologise to anyone that might be wondering how this looks so unprofessional. That looks like a monkey did. Well, I am part monkey. I'm not actually. I was walking the other rabbit, but and if you believe in that sort of nonsense, then I'm also a ram because I was an Aries. So I used to believe in it a lot more than I do now. I think there could be a slight glimmer of truth to it. That presupposes there's only 12 types of people in the world. But of course, I think it's more to do with what you were brought up, really. But some of it could be down to the astrals, you'll never know. Some people do make a lot of money out of things that are entirely down to the system of belief rather than fact. And that's to be admired. Like spiritual mediums or whatever, you could argue that that it's not possible to speak to dead people because they're dead. I'm not sure where I stand on it. I've encountered some spiritual activity in the past, but I haven't done in recent years. And it could have just been my imagination, for all I know. But when I saw the UFO-esque light on the door, that could have been just the trick with the sunlight, but it was a very strange thing to see. Mind you, my glasses weren't very good back then. It's been hallucinating. And you can see here, I cheated for the safe crystals just a couple of levels ago. I've already gone through 20 of them. That's stupid, isn't that? Oh dear, she's dead. Oh well. Oh, I've edited the load screen at this time. Oh, I spent far too long in this area, in all honesty. And this is one of the levels that I thought I knew pretty well. And I do, sort of, because it's not a very hard level to learn, but it can be a bit confusing, because there is quite a bit to it. Especially in the starting area, there's a lot of varied locations, which makes it look a lot bigger than it is. It's a decent size, but it's not that big. It does have a lot of secrets in it, and two of them are at the starting area, and three of them are further on. It's the case, isn't it, that at least two of the secrets are at the very end of the level as well. And wait a minute. Is it two secrets or is it three that are at the very end of the level? No. That's I'm forgetting what the fuck I'm going on about. Oh well, it doesn't matter. It's nothing special. What is so impressive about this is that this was the 1990s, and just look at it. Very impressive indeed looking. Got it on PC, a lot better. How many fucks I don't give, frankly, but yes, it does generally look better on the PC. But the PC doesn't have those beautiful safe crystals it has. The green health crystals, which they do look quite as nice as the blues. That's the only bit of the PlayStation version that looks better is the crystals. Oh my god. Yeah, I spent far too long in this area and I don't accomplish that much. But the funny thing is that I spent nearly an hour in the starting area, but then in the area that's supposed to be longer, I only spent about 20 minutes there, and then levels over, so... See, the level took me, well, an hour and 21 minutes to finish. It shouldn't quite taken that long. It probably should have taken about an hour in total. Oh god. Maybe 45 minutes since I basically know what you're doing this level. I'm just a bit slow. I'm a bit stupid, a bit slow, a bit spazzy, you know. I die a lot, and I don't always deal with the situation correctly, but that's life. Oh, I wish I was a robot. Perfect, I can wait. But then if I also couldn't do Let's Play, I could. Or maybe I could. Maybe I am a robot. Maybe I am. Who knows? No. Now, in Tomb Raider 3, there is a lot of dodgy zip lines, and this is one of them. Well, it kind of make more sense in 2, but in 3, they're like scattered all over the place in weird angles. Like, for example, that one. Just goes through the slight sleeve, and you don't actually need to use it. You can actually make the slope of the run-up jump, I believe. That was already done. Oh, and I have to circle this area several times. Well, about 2 times. It does get a bit repetitive, but it's still a big deal. Also, the enemies in this level, you can't appreciate actually that. Well, the gun that he has is very similar to the gun the men in the South Pacific had. Now, they were friendly, whereas these British, I suppose you'd call them guards, they're not friendly, so yeah, you have to fight them. But then you have the tribesmen to fight in the previous area, so you still have to fight men. It's like a woman power fantasy, really. It's sort of, isn't it? Sort of isn't. Because Lara Croft is a male vision, as is often the case with these things. Where do I stand on this matter? Not particularly strongly. I mean, it shouldn't matter who created the character as long as they're relatable and the game they're in is decent. And who gives enough fucks to give a damn? Not me, that's for certain. Some people do. He's got laser sight in his gun, but it's blown away at the grenade launcher. I guess the thing is that these guys may not know who Lara Croft is. They may just see a woman, this mad woman. They probably don't think she can do much damage, and then she just puts a grenade launcher and blows them to bits. But yeah, Lara Croft is like a super soldier. Likes collecting artifacts. Well, classic Lara is. I can appreciate what they were doing with the reboot to make her more like a normal woman, but this Lara and that Lara, the only thing they share is the name. They're not the same character, as far as I'm concerned, but you couldn't exactly have the same character even though core design died 14 years ago, so you know how different companies can interpret things differently. Whereas the Brotherhood of Gaming made a convincing argument that, well, with Legend, it was kind of like that Lara bore a strong resemblance to core design Lara if you think about it, but the gameplay was a lot more simplistic. It just wasn't the same thing, therefore, but I have no problem with. And the reason that Legend Lara does look a bit like core Lara is because the designer of the original Tomb Raider Lara, who then left the company when we've discussed when core design began marketing her in a sexual manner, he left in disgust. And he actually got back on board when Tomb Raider Legend came out in 2006. He was instrumental in the design of that Lara. So Brother of the Gaming say that, oh, it's a continuation of Core Lara. But of course, their personality is completely different as well. So how can it be a continuation of her Lara, of that Lara, if she's got a completely different personality? So, well, there's parts of her that are similar, but I can't really get on board with that idea, frankly. But considering Crystal Dynamics would have wanted to get as far away from Tomb Raider Angel Darkness as possible because of the critical flop that it was. Truthfully, Angel Darkness did sell okay. It didn't sell as well as the first 4 games sold, but generally with each game I think there was a slight decline in sales until Chronicles where it was a sharp decline, I believe. But Angel of Darkness, I believe, sold better than Chronicles because Angel of Darkness was a fuller game. And but the panning it got, oh my god. And of course, when I was younger, it was like, when I first played Angel of Darkness, I was like, yeah, this game is a bit shit, you know what I mean? But the reason that it's a bit shit is because it's not finished. So, and back then, I just thought it was like they made a subpar game or something. But the more I researched, the more I realised, no, the game wasn't finished. The game had 2 more years of development to go. IDOS forced Core to push it out at least 1.5 years too early, and that's why you get bits of story that don't connect and things like that. And that's how Lara knows how Kal-El is when there's no indication they ever met. So it's a bit stupid like that, but it was ambitious, and there are a lot of strong points to that game when you go back to it. From the character design, the graphics, to some of the storyline was very good. And Eckhart really is one of the best villains Tomb Raiders I've seen. So it just seemed that they couldn't, pull all that together and make a game that delivered on all this potential. Oh my god. Well, you can't sit there and that's a close-up of boobs in the skin title of the catsuit. But this one, it doesn't, you know what I mean, there's like, it's got short-sleeved, where the one that Chronicles covers all of the body basically, except the head. And of course, do you know when the first example of a woman in a catsuit appeared? It was in a comic as long ago as 1930. It wasn't Catwoman, but that character is now so. She was the inspiration for Catwoman. Basically, Catwoman became a lot more popular, and I find it fascinating to read about that. Yeah, this is how sad I am. But yes, women in catsuits, eh? Doesn't get much better. But the quality of the catsuit varies. Because some of them aren't very good, obviously, and some of them are great. It's like the one in the 1992 Batman film, the shot for that catsuit. You look at how cheap and terrible it looks, and yet people rave about how good she was. She did play the part well, but the catsuit's full of zips, and to me, it's not the best looking catsuit in the world. But even for the time, it looks a bit. Whereas, of course, Batman's outfits always seems to look good, so they don't always get it right for Catwoman, unfortunately. And don't we know it with the 2004 spin-off? Oh god, let's not. That movie is a bad movie, right? But it's enjoyable enough, you know. You don't take it too seriously. Because the thing is, I believe Halle Berry would have been a better choice of Catwoman than Hathaway, which I thought she was quite a strange choice because she's quite plain looking. She has got a curvy body, you know. I'm not sure she works out. I'm sure she'd be tough enough, but she's a plain Jane. The suit they had for her was pretty good. Oh, I've got to say that it was good, but the woman herself. Well, I suppose from the body down, you know, you can't really complain much. Oh God, I've done it again, chaps. I've gone on objectifying women. Oh, it's all for the purposes of entertainment. I try and make it as entertaining as possible. And who I am on these things doesn't necessarily reflect who I am in reality. I'm exaggerating myself a bit. Not by much, though. I don't really bother with doing that, but and I don't know how to rate Thames Wharf. For me, I do like the atmosphere, but I'm not that enamoured with this level as a level. I might say this a bit too often, but it's a bit disjointed for me. But when you get in the cathedral, I think that's a really nice part. And if you notice, when you kill these guards, if you kill him when he's facing you, you'll get a final shot in on you. And it's the same with all of the guards with the guns anyway. They'll try and get a final shot as their last breath disappears from them. As they're dying, they'll try and get a final shot. And that can, if you've got a really low health for them, they get that shot in, they can actually kill you by doing this. So you've got to watch out. If you haven't saved it, that'll be disaster. Oh God. It's like in Area 51, where I was fighting that guard. He wasn't getting his final shot in. I was going to heal Lara, so I won't heal her because I think you won't do that much damage. And he just chunked the last part of my health, but I died near for. I hadn't saved it. About half an hour to get back there. And good job I cut that out because you don't want to see that really. Oh dear. Oh my God. Oh. I mean, you can see the graphical flaws in our outfit. But it looks very beautiful, and the in-game Lara model for Tomb Raider 2 and 3 was very beautiful. She was a bit strange looking, well, I'll give you that. And she's kind of, well, a mix of Caucasian and Asian. So that's just got quite an Indian look about her. She's loosely inspired by Nina Cherry originally, but who is black and of course Lara's white, but like she looks like Asian. She's got all sorts of mixed race inspirations, I suppose, which is great. I don't know what I was going with that, so I was trying to fill the void with pointless discussions that go nowhere. I don't know why I still do this. I'm getting reviews, but like I can appreciate Formula 1 2001 getting views, but there was nothing I did on that series that was anything worth watching, really. In fact, because I wasn't commentating that loudly, so it's very hard to make what I was saying out. You really have to turn the volume right up, and I had the volume on the game turned down as well. You know? It doesn't really sound very good, but I mean, people watched it. So that's what made it relatively popular. I mean, I'll never be as popular as. See, I never set out to make this channel a racing game channel at all. It's just that when I started uploading frequently in 2016, the games I'd had were racing and driving games, so. And then, of course, established the channel as that, whereas in reality, it's a game channel, and I like to believe that I cover most different types of games, really, whether it be action or fighting or racing, and of course, or survival horror. Yes, but like I say, I'm not going to be. Even if it did focus on racing games, and I'm not a River, I couldn't get his views. Or rather, a River's the bus company, I think. I'm not. I'll never be that popular, ever. It would be nice to make a living from it, it really would, but to make a living from doing this means you do have to make yourself more mainstream. I think the only way to do it is doing modern games almost exclusively until you got enough audience to choose some of your favourites. So I don't really see the point in getting too big. Of course, I always like more subscribers than 20, but it took 5 years for that to even happen. And you can work out that if I kept doing this for another 50 years, I'll probably have 220 subscribers. Some people get more than that every hour. Some people get more views than I've ever had as a collective in 13 years or whatever it is. They get that every day for every video they put out. So couldn't even dream of that. Of course you'd always want to. It's a nice stream, but reality is that my life is disappointing shambles, and it will never be anything else. Oh god. Oh my god. I am the last famous international players. I'm not, of course. I bet I'm the only one on Earth that has ever quoted a Morrissey song in a Tomb Raider video. Some levels are miserable enough that I imagine Morrissey enjoying them, actually. Oh, god. Well, this level isn't miserable. It's quite straightforward, but it'll give you a headache if you don't know the level very well. It's all a bit adrift, and you're like, what the hell am I supposed to do? Where am I supposed to go? But when you know how it is, very straightforward. Not saying it's not challenging. There are easier levels, there are hard levels, kind of one of those in between ones. But you see, this level, I'd say it was about. It's kind of like how Tomb Raider 4 is in a way where it's not easy, but it's not that hard, where you can kind of figure out what you're doing, you know where to go. But it's challenging. And but it's nowhere near as atmospheric as Tomb Raider 4. So I say it is atmospheric, but it doesn't have anything on the atmosphere of the Tomb Raider 4. But the atmosphere in London is very, very good, and I don't think it could have been much better, in all honesty, given that they had 1 year to make this. When you think it's only been, there were 6 people, they had 1 year to create this game. Quite incredible. Of course, it's built on the engine of the first 2 games, which makes the task a bit easier. The first game, they had slightly longer to develop it. They had 3 years. They started development in 1993 and put the game out in 96. Whereas with Tomb Raider 2, No, 97, 203, 98, 204, 99. Chronicles 2000. So that was 4 games and 5 games in 5 years. It's pretty incredible. You definitely do not see that happening these days, unless it's a sports game. You just have minor updates and or a Formula One game or a football game or whatever. But sports games are not really that fun, because there's like simulation of reality. So I did enjoy the Formula One games back in the day, but for me now, they're far too clinical. I wouldn't bother with most of them, even though some of them have classic content in them, like old cars, but just like that is enforced nostalgia. It doesn't really make the game any better. And that's how my feelings on the subject. No, got 2 secrets. Got the flu room key, and I believe now I proceed to death. You see, I can see how this would be very confusing. It's very hard to see what you. I might have actually had to look some of this off because lock some of this off. That's not what I meant to say. I meant that I think I actually looked some of it up because some of the crawly space and the hand things are quite obscure. I don't think I remember every detail, but I remember the level quite well enough to know what I'm doing when I get the water rooms. Like I said, so I'm far too long faffing around in this section. God, the mouse has died. That'll be a problem. And you might be able to see why. You know you won't be able to see why. Oh God, I've done it again, you see. Yeah, I died, and it's not good to die, really. Yeah. Yeah, the thing was, I did try that new Scarlet, and guess what? It didn't improve much. The quality is exactly the same. And the Scarlet is supposed to be, like, good quality, so I'm now going to think that's the TV itself that is emitting this quality. And since I'm essentially recording off the TV, maybe the TV has something critical to do with that. It was the TV itself that needs replacing. It's not the best quality television in the world. I do believe I got it for less than 100 quid. I didn't get it that low. It was about 3 years ago I got it. But it was a bedroom TV, so it's small. Because of what I've got, I can't go on the internet with it. It wasn't designed for it, but it's not a smart TV. Well, I'm using it like one. So, I can't say that I'm that enamored with Thames Wharf. As I said, it's like when it kicks in and when you go to the other part of it gets more interesting. But this part, I just don't really feel anything for it, really. It looks good when you look at the views from it, but I just think it's a little dull overall because it's a little dull because there's not much going on and there's an atmosphere in the background, but it's like there's something missing. I think by the time you get to the cathedral, then the level's picked up a lot and it becomes more memorable that way. Because when you're on cathedral, it's like fantastic. I'm on St. Paul's Cathedral. That's quite a realistic representation, I believe, as well. I've been to London a couple of times. Not recently, though. I think I've sort of been to London relatively recently, but just to a zoo that was near London, and that was 6 years ago. Whipsnade Zoo. That zoo's massive. I mean, fucking hell, it's gigantic. It's impressive. I believe I saw some Indian elephants as well. I've yet to see any African elephants. Well, I believe the Asiatic elephants, I think they're still endangered, but they're not as endangered as the African ones, because yes, because the African ones have big tusks, and they're hunted for their ivory. I mean, well, correct me if I'm wrong here, right, but why couldn't... Well, I might sound a bit stupid here, but here, I'm going to go on anyway. Why couldn't they wait until the elephants die and then take the tusks? Then you are killing elephants for the tusks. Then you're not endangering the species. It doesn't really make sense, but the ivory trade is a multi-million-pound trade. So people will kill an innocent elephant just for its tusks. It is tragedy, because that's how humans are. We're not very kind as a species. And when it comes to wiping out animals, we're the king of doing that. I mean, the dodo, for instance, we hunted that to extinction pretty fast. So for about 250 years it's been extinct. If you look at the dodo, it's a shame. It's a majestic bird. Why we hunted that to extinction, I'm not quite sure. I think it was just hunting, and I'm not sure that we actually did ever eat dodos either. I just think the trophy hunting them. There was no regulations back then, I don't think. We weren't really, we didn't really care that much back in the day. If we hunted something to extinction, it's like the woolly mammoth that got extinct, as the saber-toothed tiger did as well. To be fair, saber-toothed tiger probably hunted humans, so yes, but I don't think we're the reason the woolly mammoth and the saber-toothed tiger went extinct. I don't think we hunted them to extinction. I think they just... Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Yes, we might have done. Oh, we did. I've just remembered something. We did hunt the woolly mammoth to extinction, unfortunately. They were trying to breed a new woolly mammoth a few years ago using a cross with an African elephant, and I don't think they managed it, though. They have crossbred tigers and lions and created ligers, which I don't know what the purpose in doing that was, but yeah. So it created a freaky crossbreed there. Actually, I think the purpose was to protect the endangered species. Tigers are endangered. Elephants are endangered. I think most animals are endangered nowadays, except domestic animals and farm animals, obviously, which we breed to keep as pets, and we breed to slaughter them, and we breed to wear their fur. In the case of sheep. So, I don't know how did this happen? This is 203. Lara likes killing animals, don't you? Oh yes. Oh, you see there after that. Oh dear. Done an impression of her. Of course, yes, I mean, the stigma that attached to upper class people are all these toffs who like to hunt animals in extinction and hunt foxes with greyhounds and whatever. A lot of them are like that, especially in Britain, and there's of course a reputation for being inbred if you're related to the royal family. They probably are a bit inbred, to be frank. to keep them in the family, you see, but I'm not. Whether they're heavily inbred is another matter. No, we're talking about inbreds. What's your review? Lara, of course, is not inbred. She's a purebred perfectionist. Despite the notable fact that she doesn't exist in real life. We're just going to gloss over that. Yeah. You see, the third secret is somewhere near here. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to find the third secret. Because when you go down where that fire is, I don't think you can come back. Actually, I'm talking about you can come back, but it's quite tedious now. You really wouldn't want to, really. And well, apparently the royal family the Queen married a Greek man that was racist, and they're calling it Clarkson. I don't really knew a lot about. I know there are some Americans or Britain in the royal family, obviously, and some Germans are as well, but it's European, you know. Americans are European as well. We're both Europeans.